Have Stephen King's book sales dropped 70% since he went woke? No, that's not true. The claim appeared in an article on a satirical website known for publishing fabricated content. The claim originated in an article published by the Dunning-Kruger Times on August 13, 2023, titled, "Stephen King's book sales have dropped 70% since he went woke." It opened, quote, "Stephen King is learning the hard way that his decision to enter the world of the woke is a costly endeavor. Like most things on the left, King's career is in ruins." End quote. Users on social media only saw this title, description and thumbnail, quote, "Stephen King's book sales have dropped 70% since he went woke. Nobody knows. Go woke, go broke. Quite like the former master of horror." End quote. The article claims, quote, "According to a new report, the author's book sales are at an all-time low. That's really cutting into his income," said publishing mogul Joe Barron, "and this is a guy who likes to live large." End quote. Joe Barron is not a publishing mogul. He was a friend of the Americans' Last Line of Defense, a LOD website network who passed away. The Dunning-Kruger Times is part of a LOD. Barron's name lives on as an homage, conveniently taking on the role of a spokesperson to offer false official statements when needed. The article claims there is a new report that his book sales are at an all-time low, but does not provide evidence of such a report. A Google search for keywords, "Stephen King books sales all-time low," yields no reputable results except for other fact checks. The article also claims their research shows King's book sales have dropped 70%, but a Google search of the terms, "Stephen King books sales drop 70%, yields no reputable results to confirm this. King's latest book, Fairy Tale, was published in September 2022 and was a New York Times #1 bestseller. As of August 15, 2023, Fairy Tale was highly ranked on Amazon.com in hardcover and on Audible, almost a year after its release. The Alod network of sites run by Christopher Blair, a self-professed liberal troll who produces content targeted to conservative audiences. Lead Stories has published fact checks on many of the fabricated narratives Blair's network has recently published. Here, Lead Stories has a satire policy and typically does not fact-check content clearly labeled satire. In this case it is warranted as Alod content is frequently plagiarized and republished on other websites without the disclaimer. Lead Stories has reached out to King's publisher Simon & Schuster and will update the story when a response is received. The Dunning-Kruger Times. The Dunning-Kruger Times is a satirical website with an About page that has following disclaimer, quote, "About Us Dunning-Kruger-Times.com is a subsidiary of the America's Last Line of Defense network of parody, satire, and tomfoolery, or as Snopes called it before they lost their war on satire. Junk news about satire before you complain and decide satire is synonymous with comedy. SATIRE noun. The use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics and other topical issues. Everything on this website is fiction. It is not a lie and it is not fake news because it is not real. If you believe that it is real, you should have your head examined. Any similarities between this site's pure fantasy and actual people, places, and events are purely coincidental and all images should be considered altered and satirical. See above if you're still having an issue with that satire thing." End quote. The website is named after the Dunning-Kruger effect, a term from a psychology experiment that describes the phenomenon of being ignorant of one's own ignorance. That experiment has been disputed by a math professor.